Oh no. I don't record the. You know what's funny is you actually asked that. I do record what happens between the things sometimes, but it's literally just music playing in the background with the away screen. So you're safe. So all those things that you said, Messi, no,
Mm-hmm. Good.
only we
Yeah, I
heard
don't
them.
want that getting out.
Only we heard them. The
That better be
fact,
locked.
the fact that I asked Rick to record all of our in between stuff because he has a different setup, it's a different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Send me that later, Rick. Send me that later. We have people paying good money for it. Um, where were we? Dead Spider. Let's try to make this a racist thing. Don't be an
Are we
ass.
staying another week in this town?
Here's your
Or not?
money. We don't want your money, you racist. Walk out the door. Are we staying another week in this town?
No,
Yeah.
no. But I would like to. It wasn't like we don't want your money, racist. It was like, good job for doing the non-racist thing. Here's a bountiful reward of gold.
Yeah, be a good leader.
morally good.
Put this into the community.
Yeah. He's still gonna tell. We're gonna leave, and he's just gonna tell them that it was them anyway, and they're gonna have a fight or whatever. We did the right
And he's
thing.
gonna have more money to use his
Yeah,
expenses.
to fund his soldiers. They're all gonna be well equipped now.
Hey, if he does it, it's not on our cash.
Yeah, exactly. We did the right thing.
So while you're going off and living your life, assuming that it's a cute assumption. Let's continue. So the brain just completely powered down. Back up. So you guys actually have a ton of horses to choose from. I know this sounds goofy for a second here, but there are a ton of horses for you to choose from. I believe you still had that really nice horse that belongs to Tal. Yes.
Yeah.
Dune, I think it is.
Dune. Yeah.
The fact that I can remember that is really bad.
Yeah, you remember his name, but not like our characters' names.
Or your name in real life.
No, that's not true.
It takes me a minute.
I don't think you could ever forget me. Yeah, but that's just your old age.
And mute. All right, so yeah, what? I can't hear you. So,
The hair in your ears.
oh god.
Here, I'll mute myself.
Thanks.
Oh, so nice and quiet now. Oh.
So, anyways, you guys are making your way to the so you get your horses. You obviously grab Dune. I believe there was another good horse. We didn't have to kill off the one with that had the +1 before, did we? No, that's right.
My horse got fucked up.
Your horse got fucked up, but there was another horse on the ride here from the second time you guys rode here after doing the teleport. That one's also a good horse. It's another +1 horse. I just didn't say it as such before. So you guys actually have that one as well. And then the other two, I think, are just whatever horses. Who actually had that horse? Was that yours, Donkey, on the ride up? Because you had to switch with Bran because he fucked up his normal horse?
No, it was Luis swapped because he
That's right.
is more au fait with animals.
That's right. So Luis's horse technically was a better one because of the...
Which Bran has now.
Oh,
And
well,
as
just for
far
the
as I
ride,
know-
but yeah.
Well, yeah, but he was last to use it. He touched it last. It's his.
Oh!
As far as I know, there was another horse here that was actually mine before I got teleported away.
Yeah, we had four like normal horses, one of which was Tal's, which was good, and then we had the 4 witch hunter horses. 2 of those were good or something.
Yeah. So I think you guys have...
We just went over that, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, I meant when we made my character, we had some stuff on a horse.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that.
So I think you guys have 2 +1 horses. You have Dune, and then you have the other horse. So who's getting the other horse? Bastion? Okay, Bastion gets the bad horse. He gets the big dumb one. I'm a plunk. I'm just a Clydesdale.
Yo, I'll fucking sell it and get a good horse.
To
Prestidigitation.
be fair, we've got like 4 horses now we can sell.
Realistically, you could do that, but they're just going to keep them. No, really, do you want to...
We have more horses than we need. I'm not gonna take the bad horse.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a bad one. You're getting the best. You're getting the creme de la creme of the remaining 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 5 or 4, or whatever was left. Yes, Neil.
There is sense in taking all the horses because you would take all the horses because the ones that you're riding get more tired and you switch Because
Oh.
even although they've ran the same distance, they've ran the same distance without
Without
80
the- yep.
kilograms of Bastion on the back.
It might be worth still like swapping the one that got fucked up for a different one. Because how bad is it fucked up?
Not so much that this really needs to be any more of a
It's-
conversation than what it already has been.
Its,
Oh.
its temperament was affected more than its physical body because it was healed. It just didn't
Yeah.
like having Bran ride it because he can't ride horses very well.
I feel like Bastion's more than 80 kilograms. I just converted it. Like
Yeah, he's probably like 120.
I'm like, because how much do I weigh? I'm 90. I'm 95 kilograms. So, and Bastion's a much stronger boy than I am, and maybe taller than me. Shut up, Neil. So you guys are hopping on the horses. You have got the 3 good ones and the 5 average ones. You hop on your horses. You're gonna keep all of them instead of selling them, and you're gonna ride out of town. Now, beforehand, we
Keeping them all.
you missed that conversation. So you guys are riding on the horses. Where is it in the Can somebody do the tilde and type Witcher in stream? My chat bot, I haven't been complaining about it, but the reason I haven't been able to respond to people in chat is because it won't let me type. I'll have to fix it after the stream's over. It just keeps getting updates and screwing me up.
Never mind, I give up.
I said tilde. I meant what's this one?
That's a
Swirly thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right about Tilda.
Oh, but it's the commands aren't working? Because chatbot needs to... stupid fucking chatbot. None of the commands are working. It's mutiny. Alright, I'll do it over here. I was just trying to pull up the map for everybody. And make it easy for myself at the same time.
Hey, Scott.
Hey. Hey. It's broken. It's Streamlabs' fault. Streamlabs!
That's what they all say.
Streamlabs! Streamlabs!
Scott, you are a professional streamer.
Loverboy? No. All right. So you guys are. By the way, that joke wasn't funny to me until I started watching. What's her name? Bird is the word, and I was like, but when she says it, it's so cute and funny. I guess I could say it, and I could be cute and funny too. It's not the same. So you guys are riding from Vizima to Dorian. Now there is, of course, the road to get there, but you were thinking of because you were going to Dorian and you were supposed to meet with the person, give your line, and then you were going to get your directions. Now the trek from Vizima to Dorian is not a short one. But luckily you have with you your ranger now that understands the roads and understands everything well enough to speed up your traverse. So, was your plan to just get there as fast as you possibly can? Hard riding. We're going to be making checks, same as we were before, or let's just travel and see how things go.
Given Bran's track record with horses,
I'm probably gonna die if we travel fast.
I think we can travel at normal speed while traveling cross country with what's his face, and still, in effect, be traveling at a greater speed. Does that make sense to you?
You're more or less saying horses don't wear down as much, and so we can just kind of like, instead of being gentle with them, ride them harder but not galloping for longer. You're just trotting more or less.
Yeah, but we can make up I feel that we can probably make up the speed that we would lose by not forcing the horses on the roads by traveling off the road with Luis. Whether or not that's true, you don't have to say, but
No, you're fine.
looking
No.
at the map, that seems.
Yeah, no, you're fine enough. You're well enough, and so once again, this map is not a perfect to scale map. It's like as if some cartographer, did like a rough draft sort of it. So like if you look at like the distance between like one location and another, that is not a perfect to scale. Like if there are 3 different maps of say Temeria alone written up, and all of them are vastly different, and even some things are actually incorrect. And this is like the official map that you got with you. I think when you bought the second video game, this is the official map that came with the video game, and it's actually incorrect. Like if you look at I'm trying to give you a really good example of one that I'd seen before. Mirabor and I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly because this is a super fun conversation. Mayina and Maribor are not like one is south of the other one. They're like very much to the east-west of one another, if I remember correctly, and situated different in Temeria than where that is. But again, that's just how the map is drawn. So that's the one we're working with because it's cute. But anyways, and nobody actually ever did a 2-scale proper map of the video game yet, which is, that's the video game company's right to do so. But anyway, so you guys are going to make the trek to Dorian on and off-road, mostly off-road you were hoping for, Neil?
If that saves us time.
If it saves you time. And pushing on. So then, since we're not riding hard, there really are no checks that you have to make. You just plot along. One of the things I have to ask is, as you're trekking your way over to Dorian, is there anything that you guys, like, are you being receptive to looking for jobs during the various towns or whatever you might find along the way? Or are you just kind of, no, keep to myself, da-da-da-da-da?
Keep into ourselves. Also, I'm going to make a cat potion since I can.
Yeah.
All right, is that all 3 of your potions being filled up just to be
Yeah, I'm gonna have a thunderbolt, white raffords, and then the cat potion.
Gotcha. I have a question, and please do what you want to do. Don't. The white raffords you always have because it's a healing potion, and having a healing potion is of course a good idea. But wow, you guys' volume compared to mine, it must be. Hey, everybody in chat, has their volume been terrible compared to mine? Nobody said anything because I just noticed that it's been set. I am a professional streamer for Valkyria Chronicles.
This guy.
Oh Jesus!
So, oh god,
Feel louder.
I wish somebody had said something forever ago. Though it's not your responsibility. I feel bad. So moving on. It'll be better now. So the you could just rely on what's his face over there to do all the healing. And use that potion to have a different buff on you.
Yeah, but a lot of these buffs aren't necessarily what I'm looking for. Like, there's Black Blood, which is good if we're fighting something that bites me, but most of the time they don't bite me. At least in my experience, they usually bite. Well, honestly, they bite Bran a lot, which is probably
Because
not
Scott's
ideal.
a dick.
No, it's you always put yourself in situations. It's like I target you. It's like I'm like, he's way over there by
Here's
himself.
a face spider that looks for magic.
That's okay. Okay, that's a fair one. But you knew going in. You knew going in on that one.
Yeah, it was like...
And there's 3 people around me. I was like, yeah, we should do this. I'm like, oh god damn it.
It wasn't coerced.
And the foglet didn't attack you.
That's true. The foglet attacked... did it attack anyone? Sorry, I can't really remember
we
because it was
murdered
so
it right away.
easy.
We murdered it right away. It didn't get a chance to attack.
Yeah. I think it was gonna attack Luis, but then we dropped a building on its head.
Yeah, but I'll swap out my white raffords for a willow actually.
What's a willow do? I've not heard of that.
Yes, you have. You played the video game.
Yeah,
For 1
I
hour, you have advantage on saving throws to resist effects that would stun or knock you prone.
that's why I've not heard of it.
I'm sorry. Repeat that.
For 1 hour, you have advantage on saving throws to resist effects that would stun or knock you prone.
Oh, that's great if you're fighting Tal. Like, it's a great potion to have on hand if you intend to fight Tal.
definitely.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
Tal's going to try to, like, get you all rigid and then lie you on your back. And
It
you're
appears-
like,
Wow.
bad.
Wow. It appears in The Witcher only, and I've never played the OG Witcher. I've played 2 and 3.
Gotcha. I never played the first one. Don't want to tangent on this for too long. I never played the first one, but I watched a playthrough of it. It's actually probably the first playthrough, like through and through playthrough I ever watched, and because the person was absolutely hilarious. I don't even know who it was anymore. And I just love the potion system they have in that game. I wish we could do that in this kind of a setting, but like for 4-hour time slot formats, it just ends up being a waste of time trying to do that rather than fun, which would be tableside. But
I also, I'm going to use, I forget how Rare XP works exactly.
Doesn't it count for double? I don't know. I can't remember.
no,
It was like,
It's your mechanic.
the rare XP was for doing things like extending it or empowering it, more or less.
so what I want to do is for my Thunderbolt potion, because I basically made that around the same time. So what I want to do is I want to use some of the rare XP for that, but I don't know how much I should use.
You either use what was it, 10% or 50%. You don't have to use 100%.
10% or 50%?
Oh no, or 100%. My apologies. You can use 10%, 50%, or 100%. So this is for what potion were you saying?
My Thunderbolt.
Your strength potion? Use it to 21. How much XP do you want to use so you can find out what it does? Kind of like discovering AC.
I will use 50 rare XP.
That's going to be. Give me a second, and I'll answer your question for you. Okay, sir.
Okay.
So you guys are making your way along the roads, trying to. Okay, here it is. 50%. That is going to allow it to be a 25 instead of a 21 strength.
25 instead of a 21.
That's insane. That's like 4,000 gold at least.
It upgrades it to a fire giant's potion. Yep.
That's insane.
Yep.
This is what it's all about.
Is it?
Strength potions, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right then. So you guys are making your way to the Dorian. Now back on track. You're making your way to Dorian. You're trekking there as rapidly as you can do so. It's not that the travel goes without incident though. Along the way, you'll have other people that whether it be the fact that they see like a group of people going by, and so they'll try to trade with you, or they'll see you going by, and maybe others like bandits will try to jump you and take your stuff. But most importantly, one of the things that you happen to come across along the way is there is a wagon that you guys. This is off the road, so slightly off the road, but on a trail. So clearly, people do travel here. Just just a cleared pathway through what otherwise is a wooded area. But we're not talking densely wooded or forest-like. We're talking kind of a sparse wood, one that you would. If there was no trails whatsoever, you could manage like a wagon through here, but it'd be a horribly bumpy ride, chance of breaking wheels. But I mean, the trees are wide enough that a horse and wagon could navigate through here slowly. Either way, there is a definite trail in this area, winding of course, but the road's beaten down enough that a wagon can get through here safely, and you're not worried about the horses twisting an ankle. And so this is the kind of trek that you're going down. And as you're traveling down this this area, you happen to see a wagon that is pulled up sideways, somewhat tilted upwards, as it's kind of like run up onto a rock. The wagon wheel is broken. Where it was that there was either a horse or bull or whatever it was that was pulling this thing, the chains, or my apologies, ropes that were holding the pulling creature have been cut or snapped, and there's no creature there any longer. On the ground, you see a whole bunch of stuff that would have been inside the wagon has been spilled outwards, and there's not a person immediately in sight.
I immediately cast Detect Magic.
So you cast Detect Magic and I'm trying to think for a second. You detect no presence of magic.
Okay, I'll keep it going, but yeah.
We're trotting along, right? Tal would just because he's a curious boy. He's human. Would slow down the horse to a walk and then dismount and lead it as he begins to have a look. Simply, one, if he does spot something valuable, he may pocket it. But more than that, he's just like, oh, what happened here?
So this isn't an investigation; it's a perception check as you're walking by, as opposed to just ignore it right off. It's a slow walk by. You can roll me a perception check if you would like, boyo. Anybody else? What are y'all doing?
If I notice that he's looking at that, I'm gonna be on the lookout, sort of around the general area.
Roll yours.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're
perception.
gonna
I'll
be
dismount
a
with
scout
him,
in case
and
something
I'll
else is gonna
investigate
attack.
closer.
I don't want to be jumped, basically.
Yeah.
I will keep all the horses safe.
Okay, awesome. I actually like the way this is playing out. So, Tal is like walking by the wagon, slowly, like very slowly, kind of like looking at it, seeing if anything's there. Bran hops off, and it's not that he runs up, but he goes straight up to the wagon and starts kind of like sifting through it, seeing what he can find. All y'all roll your checks. You have what's his name, Bastion, stays a bit ahead of the group and just kind of like looks back, like goes past the group a little bit and like looks back and kind of keeping an eye, making sure that nothing is incoming. And then pulling up the rear is actually Luis, who's got the horses with him, so he kind of like has them and he's behind where the wagon is as the others are making their way around, also going towards it, but at a much slower pace, to make sure that you guys kind of like spread out, but watching. I'm only missing, Messi, your perception check, please, sir.
Oh, perception, sorry.
Thank you. No, you're fine. I never told you. Directly.
Is a 16 a hit?
So, let's see. The Tal, unfortunately, doesn't really see anything with the way that he's walking by. Nothing catches that, just people's shit. Bastion, once again, just kind of like watching after the situation, just kind of like taking it in. You're in your own mind. Leaving what's it called? Vizima was a little tough for you. You had memories that were kind of like coming to you about Vizima while you were there, but you never really got to explore them. So you kind of like, as you're looking back, it's almost like you're looking back down that road and lost in your own head. So you're not really taking anything in, but you trust your senses anyways. Luis, I'll get to you in a second. Bran, you're investigating the wagon, and you don't find anything of value necessarily, but what you do see is that the wagon door is broken. As the thing was tilted up on the side, the wagon door is broken, but not like it was ripped open, as though it was opened up, and then the wagon tilted up on the side, and the door smashed into the ground and cracked open. Much like people opened it and jumped from the wagon before it stopped. And then like kind of, later on when you go to investigate a little bit further, like going back like a good 15 paces, whatever it is, or 15 feet, whatever it is, you actually look on the ground, you see where it was that at least one person, probably the last person, jumped out of the wagon before it like ran up on these rocks. Continuing your investigation at the wagon itself, you can actually see that there are scratch marks, like claw marks that are on the side of the wagon. This thing has clearly been attacked by something with claws. You're not really good at that sort of a thing, though. That's more of a Witcher department. But there's definitely something that happened here. The ropes that were broken to have the steed or whatever it was pulling it looks like it was a tension break as opposed to somebody cutting it. So very unlikely that whoever it was that was here got away on horseback. It's more likely that they got away on foot and that this thing rode off on its own. An actual investigation of the belongings to the wagon show you that this isn't mercantile by any stretch. Very likely it was somebody of low nobility or of just decent wealth in general that was traversing this area in a decently shaped wagon, feeling protected enough that they'd be fine, but were sadly mistaken. You don't really find direct valuables, but things that to the right buyer would be considered valuable if you cared to load yourself down with such items. And by that I mean like clothing that is not like doesn't have gold woven into it, but clearly is of a nicer style. Things like that.
Benton
Can I-
candles.
Can I query one thing? You said the horses, the ropes, the whatever that held the horses in place looked like it was snapped from tension.
From tension, yeah.
Okay, and then you said it looks like whatever it was rode off. Was that just me?
Nope. I did not directly say that, but you inferred correctly. So you would go to investigate that?
Yeah, so we're
I would
presuming
immediately go to warn them, like, there are
presuming
scratch
that-
marks here.
whatever made these horrific claw marks also then rode off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because that's why I was confused.
Oh no,
Because
Yeah,
no,
well,
no.
we-
the people didn't ride off.
The people didn't ride off. Whatever the beast of burden, likely a horse that was pulling this
Okay,
thing.
cool. That rode off.
Yeah, rode
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
Good.
there you go. There you go. And you, of course, do see, footprints and all that stuff on the ground. That without saying, but you'd have to like follow them further. As you're kind of like coming to this, probably the last thing you had investigated was walking off to the side to see where it was that somebody jumped out. Like you took in all the sights that I described over the wagon. Then you walk off and you're just kind of like looking down, and then it's when you right as you're like kneeling down and crouching, kind of like touching an area. Bran, you're like, yeah, I can see that this is where the probably the last person jumped out of the wagon. And you see footprints like where they hit the ground and kind of like tumbled a bit. You see where they got up and started to run. So you think you know the direction they went, but again, you have to roll again to really follow the tracks. But right as that happens, this is when Luis hears a high-pitched scream from further on the forest. Does he not say anything?
He's not going to say anything,
Oh,
but he is going to curiously dismount his horse and dangerously poke his head through the bushes.
It's far enough off that just poking your head through a couple of trees, bushes, whatever, shrubbery.
Can't see nothing? Okay.
hey,
Yeah,
did my
you're not gonna
ears
see it.
pick it up?
Unfortunately, no. Yours did not. Yeah, but this isn't a matter of like. It's just that his proximity to yours. You know what I mean?
Also, I'm like
because
in my own head.
because
like,
he's
yeah.
younger than you,
Sorry.
he can
Oh.
hear this frequency. You can't.
Uh,
Both
Yeah.
ears, sorry, man.
Elves got those little girl like ears.
I'll alert Tal to the fact that there are footprints here of people. Because he's a better tracker.
That like looks around at what is clearly like a mess of footprints and footprints, and goes, "Yeah, I know." Sorry,
So you
Rick.
said Alan's going to find something else? Or is that Bran? You said someone was looking at something else and about to find something.
No. That was it. Just Bran found everything.
Oh, okay. I thought you cut someone off when...
Bran found everything. He rolled well. I mean, not 25.
For
well,
once.
But, all right. So you kind of keep that high pitched trill to yourself, Luis.
Well, I'm going to get the horses through, and then I'll mention it.
Sure. So you more or less get the horses through. You guys come up to this thing. It seems like everybody, for the most part, is like, well, there was action here a bit ago, but we missed the action. Is this the vibe I'm getting from everybody? And so you're like, this is unfortunate. It doesn't seem like anybody really wants to sift through here for things that they might be able to sell off for value, because y'all are laden with so much gold right now. It has to be like spread out on the horses. So at least that way, if you lose one horse, you don't lose all of it, but only a portion. So you kind of get back onto your horses once you get through, and you start riding off. Now, is this one of those things where you just wait until everybody's recollected and mounted again?
Yeah, as
Messy.
soon as they're mounted, I'll be like,
Okay. So you're just a little bit further up, but nothing like crazy off.
yeah, no. I heard a high-pitched scream coming from the woods over there. I tried to see if I could see anything, but I couldn't. You think it's worth our time?
If someone's in danger, it might be worth taking a look.
But how long was this ago?
Yeah, less than a minute.
And you're not like, hey, maybe I should tell them about it now?
It was pretty far off.
We could maybe have saved someone's life.
They could already be dead
Well,
because you decided.
By now, most likely.
I mean, it was pretty far away. We wouldn't have been able to get there by now.
Let's go now. Let's head off.
Is it-
We're best
You
in
should
making
see
the
if
call.
they're okay.
Are you like charging off into the woods?
Yes.
Should I
I'll
watch
follow.
the horse? Okay,
Tal's not galloping. He'll go a canter. He's fast, but he's not like totally just getting down over the horse. And
Oh yeah, I'm going.
Are you leading your whole herd with you guys, all 8?
I probably, well, I don't want to tether the horses to the wagon that just got attacked by a werewolf, but
Why do you assume it's a werewolf? We already did a werewolf once in this campaign. It was literally session 1. Do we really
Yeah,
want
you
to?
can't reuse things. It's the law.
Yeah, come on, it's D&D. You have to be original with every monster every time.
this is a white werewolf. It's completely different.
Oh, of course.
Oh, so we're hunting the white wolf now. That's going to go well.
So
See
yeah,
what you did there.
we probably shouldn't be charging in there with our steed of horses, but we also probably shouldn't leave the horses. So I'll let you guys decide.
We're deciding. I've already taken off.
Okay, bye, bye.
Well, I mean, if so, Bastian's going at a gallop, so he's going to get there first. Don't know what Brand's doing. Brand can do
Staying at
whatever
a bit of a distance, but definitely following
He's
him.
probably going at a canter, the same as Tal. So we'll
Yeah.
get there like a few seconds after him, depending on the distance. And then if you bring the herd along at a trot at a distance, you know.
I have so many fucking horses. What a pain in the ass. All right, I'll lead them all through.
Yeah, you take care of the horses, buddy.
So legit,
Boom. Wait. Boom. That's right.
legit question in chat for you there, Donkey.
Oh, that's the combat one. Hold on. This one. Boom.
It was like twice, all right? I don't want to hear it.
You sure like I said? I feel like
You
I
were
feel
maybe
this-
put on fire a little bit as well, but
It
it
was
helped
like-
keep
it
the
was like
drowners off of
twice.
you.
It's
Honestly,
like twice, three
it-
times.
It speaks more to Scott reusing the drowners over and over again, honestly.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
That's
they've
what
been
it's
done
supposed
to
to have.
death.
It does. If it's broke, if it works, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, right? And the question, in case you don't see chat, is and how many times did Bastion almost get drowned? Oh, sorry, that just tickles me in funny ways. So you guys are making your way through the
Wait. The last one.
Yep.
Does that apply?
So while tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number. Oh, you have to make me a survival check. My apologies, I didn't ask for you to do that.
Okie dokie.
Nice.
That's a really, really good survival check. Okay, so when you guys, so more or less, as you got, so to narrate this the correct way,
They charge off, and I don't.
yeah. So if they're gonna just like, which way did you hear that screams? That direction. They go off that way. You're like, oh, fuck, and you head back over towards where the tracks and everything was there, and you're actually gonna do a bit of investigative work rather than to go running off because it's gonna take you a minute to find the answer. And you're keeping the horses with you, correct? To make sure they watch after. Yep. So you're gonna get to your location first before they get to theirs. You start doing some investigative work. I'm gonna tell you it's gonna take you like a solid minute, so it's gonna take you a bit to catch back up to them. Okay.
That's fine.
All right. So you go over there. You hop off. You start looking. You're like, oh, okay. So he had like looked at where somebody had jumped out beforehand and said something about a brand did. So on your way even back to that location, because the wagon was going the opposite direction of you guys, you see that there were two other spots where clearly somebody had jumped out. But one of those spots looks like somebody jumped out holding like a child or somebody younger than them.
They drop the baby on the ground. There's a face print. Like, how am I supposed to know it's a baby?
I said a child. I didn't say baby. Imagine like a mother holding like their 7-year-old boy and like jumping out of the wagon, you know, to break the fall for the kid. So so you notice the three spots so the people jump out, and then you make your way back to the wagon and you start looking to see what it is that is in the area that would have made these tricks. So obviously those people kind of ran off. They ran off not in the exact same path, but in the same direction. The direction, of course, which you heard the screams coming from. Looking at the other tracks that you see there, you see that they're clearly footprints, unbooted footprints, but also oversized, larger than they typically would be. You're no witcher, but you also do have experience living in areas like, say, the graveyards and whatnot, where there's beasties about. You're familiar with these kind of claw marks. You're familiar with these kind of oversized feet that happen due to whatever transformations take place when you become a necrophage.
Werewolf. Got it.
Unfortunately, you believe that these must be rot fiends or something like that, somewhere along those lines. You don't know what their exact names are, but you know that they're those kinds of creatures. So you're kind of like taking this in. 3 adults, or at least 2 full-grown adults, 1 late teens, so adult, and 1 young child are the...
How long ago did they pass through the area?
The human footprints, the rot fiends and the like, you're thinking over a dozen. It's hard to get the exact number, but, within a minute, but you're thinking over a dozen. and this looks like it all took place maybe 10 minutes ago. Oh, now that you got time, probably 15 minutes ago because of how much time you guys spent there.
Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. You guys, however, while he's taking in that information, you're riding along. Everybody make me... Actually, what are your passive perceptions? Just read it to me.
11.
13, baby.
12.
Okay, then I'll allow you all to make me perception checks.
16.
Not you.
I'm not with them, I know.
Haha. Oh.
Ha ha!
Bastion,
It's
beat
that
him!
+1.
Come on,
Bastion!
Bastion!
Natty 20.
Daddy 20, Bastion! Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
man. Disappointment in game and out
But
of game.
actually, Bastion has ears and has advantage on this check.
Nope. This is visual, not audio. So
You're telling me that they don't make any noise when they're running?
So while you guys are riding along, two of you, Brand and Tal, notice a lump off to the side. You see that there is a corpse. Do you stop to investigate this body, or do you just kind of keep rushing off into the direction that was pointed to you originally? You currently have no leads other than this direction.
Well, Bastion's leading, so I'm going to follow his lead. He's in front.
Bastion didn't notice it, so somebody has to point out to him.
Oh.
I'm just riding on.
No,
Fair point,
Bastion,
Slick.
no. Bastion's a witcher. Of course he noticed it. He's seen invisible things. He's riding past it. So are we.
His
So
concern is the living monsters right now, not the dead corpse.
Yeah, obviously. He clearly thinks there's more people to save, and so we're following his lead.
I don't think that's Tal's logic. I think Tal would just be like, "Oh, the idiot missed it."
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Okay,
You
so
have been with
maybe
me
if
for
it
a
was like
while now.
a different witcher.
yeah, right.
But yeah. It's probably like,
Bastion.
Leonard
Brand's not going to point it out because he has no compassion for the dead. So
Yeah, I was gonna say
He's used to it.
if it was Leonard, you'd be like, "Oh wow, no, he's not concerned." That's a good point,
he
Messi.
has no compassion for the dead, thinks back to Dead Village.
Could you, I'm gonna gift you some knowledge from the other regions. Maybe if you guys shout, they might be able to hear you because we were able to hear them. So maybe that would help pinpoint a location. You could shout for them.
Well, it ultimately comes down to how Tal reacts to this situation.
Tal, did you just let the corp? You guys just not saying anything, following him along? That's perfectly fine. Just confirming. And
Yes, that's
okay.
Yeah, we're just
So
gonna
you
let
guys
go.
ride past it. You
Like-
guys ride past
Like, is this guy like, is there blood everywhere? Is
Oh,
he torn to shreds?
it. There's blood in the area around them.
Well, in that case, Tal. Well, I mean, if there's a lot of blood,
Yeah, and they're
Tal
not
would
moving.
be like, he'd tell Bran to steer clear because horses shirk at the smell of blood, and he knows Bran is an incapable rider at best, and doesn't want him to get thrown and snap his neck.
Or
So
maybe
he'd be
he
like, "Go around the corpse, Bran."
To be fair, he'd get thrown, and right before he fell to the ground to snap his neck, you would all end up in different dimensions, and Bran would land at a pillow. Okay?
yeah.
He landed the pillow of a brothel on Free Day.
I'd end up snapping my neck.
No, it'd be like a Windows error. He'd misty step back 3 times as much as he could, and each time the momentum still keeps him going. It's like, dug, 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 and then just crashes.
Oh, like a whole bunch of windows.
Yeah. Grrr.
Like when you win Spider. Or
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Solitaire. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, yeah, you guys, I more or less ignore it, aside from you pointing out steer clear. And Brand's not stupid, so it's one of those things. He didn't think of it instinctively when you pointed it out. He's kind of like, he understands why you're saying that. And then you guys keep pushing on, riding after it. So you guys continue to ride until you do hear another scream. However, this one was not anywhere near as far, of course, as last time, because you traveled that good way in that direction, but also how you supposed the descriptive difference. It's a lot more frantic and like almost like will is broken. Like it's kind of like a helpless scream of defeat. It's kind of like the emotion that you're getting off of it. You didn't have it to contrast to the other one because none of you guys had heard the other one, but it is when you hear the scream, it's almost disheartening. And almost immediately after you hear it, you come round like a little hill and with the head of like a massive like oak tree in front of you. You come around the bend and you see that there is a child down there, as I had said beforehand from his really high survival check. Looks like maybe a 7-year-old boy. 6-year-old boy, somewhere in that range, is climbed up onto an old dead tree stump. Climbed up as high as he could possibly go, but the tree must have been struck by lightning at some point because, like, most of it is taken to the ground. He's not that high up off the ground, only like maybe 8 feet with a foot dangling down, only maybe like 7 feet up off the ground. And all around the entire tree, there's about 15 rot fiends that are reaching up and trying to claw and grab at the thing. Not far from the site of that, you see 3 more rot fiends over the corpse of, or recent corpse of someone else, and they're kind of like grabbing at it and eating the entrails of whatever relative to this boy that you see. This is, of course, time to trigger initiative. And did I clear it from last time? Let me just double check.
No, you did not.
Okay. And you're clear now.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, Brad!
Nice natural 19.
Yeah. And you guys can all, of course, roll.
yeah.
Bastion, nice. Where's your picture, Bastion?
What do you mean? Oh yeah, why is my picture like that? Is it because I'm the wrong Bastion?
There
Yeah, I
it
was
is.
the wrong Bastion.
How? Well, there you go. That was weird. But now it's not. So we're good. You are getting boom. And you are bump. And you are bump. Y'all getting bumped. Bump bump. Okay. There we are.
Oh,
Okay.
he's back.
He's back.
Who's back?
Leonard's back.
Back in black.
Look at the chat, yeah, right?
The chat.
Oh, Jesus. Sorry, because I GM rolls, like all that got filtered out by my rolls that you guys can't see. So and we just need you to roll for what's his? Thank you, sir. Except you rolled Leonard into. Delete that one.
He's back. He's back.
I'll give you a -5 to your initiative for that one.
I'll probably still roll.
Don't you roll a
Wait,
16?
am I in this?
There you are now.
Oh,
Oh,
that
you
wasn't
need
my
to have
initiative.
initiative either way because you can hear shit.
That
All right,
wasn't
so first person to act is in fact Bran.
That's my initiative.
Oh wait, where are you?
I fixed it.
Oh yeah, the first one was okay. Nope, you're correct. So it is the 20.
Oh, I'm gonna
And so-
close my window. There's some guy with a big ass truck outside.
That's funny. So this is what happens. Bran, you roll a natural 20, but Luis still gets to act before you. Because even when you're
Nah, that's
critical,
fine.
even when you're a critical success, somebody else succeeds greater.
I'm just happy I get a second action for once instead of having my action taken away.
Actually, you need to have a natural 20.
Yeah.
Your
natural
natural minus. It's natural.
Oh, shush you. Luis, roll me a perception check, please.
His face. It's just like
Okay. So more or less, you do not hear that other scream. You finished doing your research. You know which way they went. You think you know everything you need to know. What do you do?
You're
Still muted.
Sorry. They seem like they really were in a hurry, so I guess I'll, because Luis is really smart. He's going to lead all of the horses very slowly with him through the woods towards where they ran off to.
Very slowly through the woods. Sounds
Very
great.
slowly.
Just to be plain, it's very likely you're not going to get in time for combat. I'll let you know if you are, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So we're going to skip Luis and go straight to Bran. Brant, it's your turn. You rolled a natural 20, critical success on initiative. Our rules here, as I always state, if you roll a natty 20, you get 2 actions and your 1 bonus action, 1 move action. So, you are standing from that tree, from that boy, from where everything there is taking place. He's only, like I said, about 8 feet off the ground, surrounded by about 15 of them. You are standing currently about 120 feet away from where that is as you came around the bend. How is it you would like to take action? I know what you.
I'm going to yell to Bastion and Talos, like, group them up, the Rot Fiends, and then I'm gonna move up. I am still on the horse, so do I have the horse's movement speed?
Absolutely, you do. Which I believe I put in chat. Everybody's horse, right? The speed is 60. So
Cool, yeah.
You can move a full 60 as part of your move action, no problem, having the distance between you and the boy.
I'm gonna move 30 feet initially.
Mm-hmm.
And how many of these Rot Fiends can I catch in a sphere without hitting the tree or the boy?
You looking for a fireball?
I'm looking for a fireball.
So the unfortunate part about fireball is, as you said, it's a sphere. It's 3-dimensional, and it's 20 feet in every direction. And so even if you hit exactly the grounds down below, that's going to completely engulf that boy in the tree that he's inside. So that's if you wanted to hit literally all of them. If you wanted to just be like, okay, no, that's not what I'm asking. I want to have the boy on the outer lickings of the sphere of fire and find the densest spot. Make me an intelligence check to not only plan it, but also plan exactly where to pinpoint it magically.
Natural 1, you roast the boy.
You did get 2 more Witcher senses from Steve about an hour ago. I just didn't tell you because we were chatting. What would you like to would you like to use one? My apologies.
If that takes us up back to 8, then yeah, I'll use one.
You guys aren't comfortable unless there's 25 of them.
Basically.
We might need them. All right, so a 15 is like a really good tier. Usually those every 5 blocks is a good tier. Mm-hmm. You believe you'd be able to comfortably get 6 of them without any chance of hitting the boy. If you wanted to play a little bit more dangerously, you can get 8. If you're being a bit careless, you can get 10.
No, I'll play it safe. I'll go for 6.
Yeah, Rick's like, you're tempting me. You're tempting me.
Rick
Every time
knows
you
what has
tempt me
happened,
to
yeah.
push a little bit further, it all goes horribly wrong. So
That's the reason why we do it.
I'm gonna play it safe. I'm gonna aim for 6 of them, and I'm gonna toss out the fireball.
That's a fairly sexy roll.
Yeah,
Not bad.
Right, what do you roll? Is it 8D? 5e, is it 8d6 or is it 6d6?
8d6.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was. All right, so a little under average, but nothing terrible, right? Oh no, that is average, right? Yeah, it's like a 1 or 2 under average. Not bad. All right, moving on. The saving throw is not very high, so you said 6 people. So I'll do 2 saving throws for simplicity. Sorry, but my modifier is not very high. Not that your save is bad. My highest roll was a 12, which means you did a whole 28 damage. Rick, would you like to describe the first casting of your fireball?
Basically, Bran's riding. He speeds up a bit initially, and then he just points his finger, and like through his arm, like energy starts flowing, and it just culminates in fire shooting out from his fingertip.
That little fire that is it like a little ball that explodes elsewhere, or?
It basically grows into like a large beam, and eventually like that beam travels and just blasts in that area.
Like very DBZ style, where kind of like gains energy in your hand and then like hurl the ball that like is like bursting with energy and explodes over there. Cool. What color is it? Typical fire, red.
It's yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And so that growing ball of energy that is like again bursting almost at the seams of whatever magical energy is containing it as it's generating more and more and more gets hurled across the field to the far side of the tree, where all of a sudden it's almost like you missed. I imagine to Bastion and Tal's initial thoughts. They've seen you throw a firebolt a bunch of times, and so they probably thought that this was maybe an enhanced version of that because they've seen you do it a few different ways in the past. They probably like, he missed. You see, as they see it go sailing past them, but then it stops on its own, perfectly suspended in the air behind them. And about a second and a half after it suspends, it just erupts outwards, as you were saying, with the licking flames and whatnot, and engulfs 6 of them, completely bringing them to stiff, charred corpses that collapse to the ground. Some of them collapsing, much like you would imagine, just a burnt body and just like collapsing and flopping about. Some of them so charred that as they fall to the ground, like they hit the ground and like an elbow hits the ground, and so because of how stiff it is, like a whole shoulder like breaks off and becomes a separate chunk, and like it breaks at the knee because the thing is just so stiff from being burnt. The other 9 still around the tree there, as you have the rest of your move, your bonus, and your other standard.
I'm gonna move 30 feet to the side now, using the remaining movement from the horse.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the ruling on dismounting a horse?
It's actually just I think it takes up 10 feet of your movement, part of your action.
Okay, in that case, I'll use like 20 move, and then I'll get off the horse.
Absolutely. So you kind of like rode up, and then like kind of like tossed the fireball as you were turning, moved off to the side towards the other 3 that were eating the corpse, or away from it.
Away from them.
Okay, cool. So that still gives you like a solid 100-foot distance between you and those 3. And then you dismount the horse. Probably dismount the horse to be behind you. The tree's in front of you. Still your action and bonus.
And then for my second action, I'm going to cast Mage Armor to get my AC up to 12.
Woo! A whopping 12, boy.
Yeah.
All right. So you get your AC up to 12, as you had just said, and now it's going to bring us to whose turn is after Brand's. All right, corpses. You've already killed 6 of them, so we get to drop one of those whole initiatives. The other 9 that are around that tree, how far did you say you traveled? You were 120 feet away? You traveled 30, we're going to call it because of the way that you got up and turned. You've traveled about 35 feet, so you're only about 85 feet away from them. They see meat on the ground, so they're going to turn and rush to surround you, Bran. Now,
That's fine.
Now, the plus side is...
You got a shield ready.
The plus side is that their speed is only 50, so they double move to surround you. The downside is, as they double move to surround you, they are surrounding you and your horse, or charging at you and your horse to surround you guys. Your horse freaks out. You have to make me, with disadvantage, because you're doing it off of your turn, you have to make me a handle animal check.
Well, that's going to fail.
Okay, so the horse freaks out and kind of like bucks a couple of times, and then just like and then it goes fucking running off. It's out of here. So whatever belongings you had on the horse, they're gone from you for now. You're gonna have to find the horse to. That should be easy for Luis to do anyways, but the horse pisses off.
That actually works out really well for me.
To be fair, that horse might piss off back to Luis because they go to somewhere they feel safe, which would be with all the other horses.
And had you rolled a 1, I was gonna have it buck and kick and make an attack against you. So you did not fail. That could have been worse.
How many are around me, for curiosity?
There was 9.
Okay, so there's 9 surrounding me.
Correct. You still have your immediate.
Perfect.
You still have your what's it called?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
There's 8 squares that surround a. No, sorry, there are 9 squares that surround a. No, 8. 3, 3, 2. Yeah, 8. So there's 1 outside of that 5-foot area.
That's totally fine. Can I yell something real quick?
In 1 second, let me finish describing. So they rush up to surround you. The horse like pisses off while they're kind of rushing up to surround you. They don't get to attack you. However, they smell horrible. Rot fiends smell absolutely vile. Now, to have you roll 9 saving throws against the smell would be absolutely ridiculous. So the mechanic is, if you fail 1, you fail. But if you succeed 1, you succeed against all rot fiends for 1 hour. So you're welcome for that. Could you roll me a Constitution saving throw? And you can speak as they're approaching, as opposed to while they're all directly around you. So feel free to say your line as they're like rushing you, and your horse runs off. Then make me your
I'll just yell like, "Stay clear!" And
normal save. No.
there's that.
Oh,
There
good
we go.
job. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's all right. All right. You're actually immune to the stench for the next hour, so you're actually good. You're good there. It's too bad I was going to have fun with you, but unfortunately, you're good for the next hour. So that's that. What do you say? Stay clear. Perfect. That's their whole turn for that group as they came rushing up to you. Tell. You're 120 feet away from the boy. You're about 35, 40 feet away from the fiends. From the ones, the three over there that are devouring the corpse on the ground, you're about 80 feet away from them. What do you do, sir?
Horse movement is 60 foot. They're 85 feet away, did you say?
My apologies. He is about 35, 40 feet away from you. Rick is.
The three that are eating.
80 feet, yeah, 80 feet-ish.
Okay. I can make it to them then. So 60 foot of horse movement, then I can dismount and do my 45 foot.
No, your movement is your speed. So it's like the greater of the two speeds when you're on a horse.
Okay.
Comprende?
No, I'm not really familiar with.
Yeah. So when
horse
you're
combat.
mounted,
No, I mean I understand.
Yeah. Just to make sure it's plain for both you and anybody that might be listening. So the way that movement speed works when you're mounted, if its speed is greater than yours, you get to use that speed instead as your speed, which is like really, really cool because like you could take like a halfling and give them a speed of 70 because they have like a quality horse or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you move up to 60 feet as its move, but because you do still have your key ability just gives you dash as a bonus action. It doesn't say that it does not extend to steeds. There's no like, it's your movement, right? So you can still key dash if you wanted to.
Okay, then I'll key dash, but do I really want to put Dune in danger?
No, what you could do is move up 60 feet, key dash, so
then
you use 10
dash.
feet to dismount and then move up the distance. Yep. So it's still 20 feet away from these stinky creatures. Now you're rushing up to melee combat with them.
Yeah.
Question: do you have the ability to attack with the spear at range or no? I can't remember. 'Cause you could long halved it, right? To have
I can, yeah, but that requires
a bonus action which you've already used.
I think it requires bonus action. Yeah, it does.
Which you've already used. Okay, so you're moving into melee with them. So then
Yeah.
before you make your action, if you could just make me your Constitution save, that'd be wonderful. And if you could roll really low, that'd be even better.
What about if I roll with advantage? How does that sound?
How
What
about
about if
fuck
you
off?
just-
I like your result. And so this is what happens when you fail against the stench. Or be poisoned. You gain the poisoned condition.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
And for those of you who would like to know, poison condition, you have disadvantage on all attack rolls and ability checks. Neil, it's your turn. You've rushed into melee
That's not
combat.
so bad.
You've rushed into melee combat. If you'd like to roll really shittily on your attack rolls, that'd be great
Ain't-
too.
Ain't nothing but a thing.
Ain't no thing but you
okay.
doing.
Right, so what? They're all eating. So they're like their backs are shown. So let's literally just down through the back. Let's put that on disadvantage. Say it, Scott. Say it.
What's the opposite of your potion there, Dunce? Can I give him the opposite of your potion?
Like a poison.
Yeah, but I just want to make him weak. Fine!
I don't use strength.
Roll your damage, sir.
Right, and this will also
You know what I
be
just
a-
realized? Your chance is an 8. Do you know what you need to hit these guys? It's an obnoxiously low number. We'll worry about that in a minute.
maybe a 10, 11.
So, what are you using? Magic Kunsai weapon or Death Strike? Death Strike?
Wait, no, it's a magic Kensei weapon, but it's Death Strike.
Okay, you're doing Death Strike. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're spending a key point.
That's sad.
Make your other attack roll. Proceed. Does this also get the extra damage?
No, you can
Okay,
use
okay.
it once
Gotcha.
on each of your turns.
So that's going to be 19 points of damage you deal to the creature. Okay, it takes a whopping 19, so F off there. It's still standing at the end of your turn. Okay, so what did I say? 19 damage you did, so that leaves with thank you. All right, next is going to be who after you? Is that going to be Bastion?
Wowie.
Go ahead, Bastion boy.
So I'm gonna ride up to. How far away from the like trunk am I? With the boy in it.
So you are 120 feet from that. If you
Oh.
dash, which is double move, you can get exactly there on your turn.
And there are no more rot fiends surrounding him.
My apologies.
And are there any rot fiends surrounding him still, or are they?
No, they actually all completely ran off to join around. What's his name? Who specifically told him to you guys to stay back? Whether or not you listen to him is a different conversation.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna ride up to the boy and basically get ready to look over him and see how fucked up he is.
Okay, so you spend your move to get up to him, and your action to double move to get up to him. You still technically have your bonus left. Do you care to use that?
How close am I to everyone else?
120. So from Neil, about 80 feet-ish. From what's his name, Rick, about 80. Sorry, what was that
80
math
feet
for?
from me?
Yeah, because you went to the side. He went straight ahead. So you were like diagonal and he was straight on. And then from Rick, about 80 feet as well, opposite direction.
But if he's 8 feet from me, surely he couldn't have made it to the tree trunk.
120
I mean-
feet, he double moved on a horse.
But still, that doesn't. Never mind.
What do you mean? You went around the tree, around like the perimeter, right?
Oh, so it was past the tree.
Not past, but around. You know what I'm saying? And he's saying, if I get to the tree, how far are you
Yeah.
from the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like you and Rick are almost equidistant from the tree, but on opposite sides.
Yeah, I hadn't imagined that she was that far away.
Yeah, gotcha. There you go. So my apologies. You, Donkey, that answers your question?
So with my bonus action, I'm gonna drop Uridan, so that if any of the monsters come in there, they get attention.
I like that. In case they come back, you defend the tree. I like that. That's good stuff. So more or less, you ride up to the tree, you drop like a Uridan on it, and you look up to the boy. Do you say anything?
No, I'm just looking him over right now.
Come with me if you want to live.
Awesome. Awesome.
Basically, I just want to see if he's like, does he look hurt at all? Is he like soaked in blood? What's the situation, sort of thing?
So no, he does have blood on him, just like a quick cursory glance. He does have blood on him, but it doesn't look like he has any injuries. Okay. So, Tal, the three in front of you stand up to face you, because you had like rushed up to them. You had clearly made these pretty devastating attacks against these creatures. However, you believe them to be well-placed attacks against these creatures. I mean, you've got your weapons are enhanced with that magical blood that you have now because of what happened with Bran forever ago, and so on and so forth, right? However, maybe you just hit them in the wrong spot. Maybe because they're rot fiends, they don't care about like their gut or their muscles or tendons quite the way that a living person does, and maybe all those areas that normally would take a creature down pretty quickly, just they don't give a shit about. Ignore it, whatever it may have been. Maybe you just didn't attack deep enough. But the creature that you injured was not anywhere near as injured as you expected it to be. You almost feel as though, like, even though you had a pretty good attack against it, it didn't play out that well. It was kind of a bit of a failure, almost a fumble. And now these three creatures stand up and turn their attention to you. And now it's their turn. So they're going to attack at you. That's three of them, each attacking.
Wait, a fumble nullifies my damage? That's a cruel fumble.
Whoa.
That's cruel.
You definitely heard it. You
Is it
definitely heard it.
resistance to my damage?
You definitely heard it. Okay? Definitely heard it. That's all that matters. And
A fumble is magical means, and I overcome magical resistance.
so anyways, just blow a kiss to the audience. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you'll win them back because I feel like they use them against you more than anybody else.
It's fine. It's fine. It's
I don't know. Have you seen all our horses dying by droves?
form of love.
So anyways, what's your AC? 17. So the first one comes at you, the one that you had actually just attacked at, and it comes back at you. You're like expecting this thing to be like barely holding on, all of its like sinew and tendons and everything cut, and so it's like. Unfortunately, it actually comes at you with a lot more strength and fervor than you expected. And you're like, oh shit! And you actually have to like bat the thing 3 times with your spear as you're stepping back, trying to keep it at bay, and it makes it through. Like it takes the whack, almost as though it barely slows it down, definitely doesn't stop it, and still like lunges a big claw.
Batting it with my spear.
You're batting its like side of the head, like to knock it to the side, to like sit. But it does not work. It comes through. You end up having to literally take a step backwards and like putting the base of the spear down by its feet to trip it up. So it ends up stumbling past you is the only way you're able to stop it from hitting you. That doesn't exactly help you from leaving yourself open to the other two as they both come in. One of them grabbing at you and doing a hard rake across your back, dealing 5 points of damage to you. And the other one, grabbing its arm around you and sinking its teeth into your shoulder and biting deep into you. And you can just smell the rot and see like the chunk of flesh and ooze as it like drops into your wounds. And you're just like, oh, it's like nauseating. You think it'd be even more horrible if you weren't at least a little drunk to take the edge off of this pain. As these two successfully hurt you 5 and 7, 12 points of damage total. That is their turns. That brings us to Luis, who's going to continue riding forward. And why don't we take a quick break? And when we come back, we'll continue this combat. One of you guys getting almost grappled and devoured. One of you completely surrounded by 9 people, but with a bit of a cocky smile on his face as his hands begin to glow. And there's not fear in his heart, but almost a bit of excitement. And another reaching up to a boy just to make sure that the kid is safe. Lending like a helping hand and a bit of a
we're gonna see Brand disappear shortly. It's gonna be like dun 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 as he disappears under this wave of rock fiends, and then there's just be like.
Oh, you think I'm gonna be staying there? That's cute.
Well,
No. We clearly had some telekinesis, telepathy going on here. You're fireballing them in a sacrifice to kill all of them. You're not misty stepping out there. We know that this is sacrifice mode.
Yeah, I'm just going, and then suddenly there's a giant monster, and it's Craig all over again, except it's just you guys.
Somebody just telepathic.
I mean, that's all right. At least you wouldn't heal it this time.
Listen, I just expect Bastion, being that bastion of hope, right? I expect him to reach up and grabs the boy's hand and say, "It's going to be okay, son. I know the horrors you went through. I'll end it for you now."
Oh,
and he pulls him down into his sword as he lifts it.
He's gonna be,
oh my god!
I'm turning him into a witcher.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, oh shit, he's an orphan now. Oh man, he could be a witcher.
Season 2, I hear.
That's right. He's gonna give him the law of surprises Catholic style. See you guys soon.
Bring me the boy.